Hello, back with day 13 and 14 of the 30-day vinyl challenge.
2 days in one.
2 days in one. Sorry, we've been lagging a little behind. But we got some great stuff today. Really, over the last 2 days or so, I've really been kind of digging through the collection, pulling out some records to send to other people, and really thinning it out. I think that's my personal kind of thing that I do. The 30-day challenge is just kind of go through and you look at everything in the whole scheme of things, like, do I really need this record, things like that. So it's good. And then 30 days later, the record stores will be packed to the gills again.
You fill in those gaps of the ones you got rid of.
So we definitely got 4 albums here for you today that are just fantastic. I know there's some challenges going on, in challenges within the challenge, but maybe we'll do those tomorrow. But Sam, take it away.
Why don't you go first?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go first.
No, you go first.
No. Okay, my first pick, Odetta. This is live at Carnegie Hall. This came out in 1960. This was what we figured her.
About her 6th album, probably like 3rd release on Vanguard. So
and,
3rd or 4th on Vanguard.
There's a lot of traditional songs on here. I think Odetta does my favorite version of John Henry of all recordings I've ever heard of it. But I just love her voice, and she's amazing. And
very interesting career in folk music. I mean, I would put her, she often gets compared to Bob Dylan and Joan Baez and all the all the folks in the folk revival kind of thing. But I mean, this is a prime example of one of the albums. You look at this in your collection and you can kind of listen to this album forever, and that would be the only album you could listen to, and that would be okay. But there's great tracks on there. If I Had a Hammer, what else is one on there that are just John Riley, John Henry, God's Gonna Cut You Down, which Johnny Cash did, Gallows Pole, which is obviously a Led Zeppelin cover tune that they did. Joshua Fought the Battle of Jericho.
They're all good.
Yeah, I mean, there's some really good. Sometimes I feel like A Motherless Child, which is Eric Clapton sort of did that, and of course Richie Havens, he did that at Woodstock. So this is a phenomenal album, inside and out. We need to listen to it a little bit more. Yeah, so that's the best part of the 30-day vinyl challenge is, we bought. I don't even know when we bought that album, but we bought it. Is it something with Jerry's? Did we get Jerry's or something like that? I don't know. I mean,
I want to say we did.
It's just one of those albums you just you pick up and then it's in there, it kind of gets filed away, and then you kind of forget about it. So what's next?
My other pick is Velvet Underground, Loaded. This holds a special place. I was listening to a lot of Velvet Underground when I was studying abroad in Slovakia, and Mark would send me audio files that I should listen to, and I didn't have a record player. I didn't have room for any of that. But I was listening to music nonstop, and a lot of the Velvet Underground, and Who Loves the Sun, and Sweet Jane, and Cool It Down, and Oh Sweet Nothing. It's good.
I think it's Velvet Underground. Their career is bookended quite well with the Velvets and Nico in that album. I mean, this one is probably their more obviously the title Loaded was just because it was supposed to be loaded with hits, but I'd say it kind of pairs real well with kind of what Lou Reed was doing with when kind of like Transformer came out. It sort of had that. I mean, it didn't quite have that vibe, but he was definitely getting there with it being more. Not as much avant-garde as the the originals were. So good stuff. Alrighty, so my 2 picks are both of them are just 2 of my favorite records of all time. The first one I have here is Tom Waits, Nighthawks at the Diner. This is pretty much my introduction to Tom Waits. I actually got this on CD years ago, probably I can't even think now. Maybe it was like 2002 or something like that. But this is definitely one of my favorite albums. It's sort of like a live album. It's not really a live album, but he's sort of recorded in studio with his friends, and there's a lot of sort of ad-libbing, and I just love the cover because it just sort of reminds me, in the town that I grew up at, there was this place that sort of was like a diner. It was kind of a a tradition of sorts. That people didn't. You really weren't from there if you never ate there before, and just how they kind of have the tables set up with the sugar and they have the canister sugar thing, and the whole back wall was all sort of the metal thing, just like as you see it here. And you could smoke in there, and the waitresses would come over, and they'd be talking to you, and their cigarettes would be
Really?
ashing in your drinks and all that.
Goodness, no.
But that was to me, it kind of holds. There's definitely that. There was that time, and then there was after time, and then there was before that time. But that particular moment in my life was pretty amazing. And
So why do you like this album other than the cover?
it's just there's really good songs on it.
I don't think I'm gonna heard this.
Nighthawks at the diner on a foggy night, eggs and sausage with a side of toast. I can sing those songs.
Go ahead.
Warm beer and cold women. Big Joe and the Phantom 309. Putnam County. Well, we can listen to that. We can just listen to the records for the rest of the evening if you want to.
Done.
But that is just a really good. The emotional weather report sort of. There's a lot of puns, a lot of jokes in it, and stuff like that. So it's very accessible. Tom Waits. His earlier stuff is kind of a little more singer-songwriter kind of stuff, but this is definitely when he's kind of getting into his own, and it's just a great double album that he put out. So that's that one, and my other one. This album is just a killer. The Walker Brothers, The Sun Ain't Gonna Shine Anymore. Baby, You Don't Have to Tell Me. Back in the day when they used to do, the hit songs would be the titles of the album. So the Walker Brothers are, ended up being expats. They kind of went to Europe, kind of caught on with the British invasion. I think the one guy was in Gary Walker, which I don't think his real name is, but or maybe it is his real name. I don't know. He actually, I think, played with the Standells for a little bit, I think. So he also had a somewhat kind of solo career by himself. Gary Walker in the Rain, I believe, was the name of the band. But The Sun Ain't Gonna Shine Anymore, great piece of sort of Phil Spector kind of pop. Phil Spector wasn't involved in it at all, but it was actually Bob Crew and one of the other guys that I forget what his name is, who he did some of the stuff with the Four Seasons. Actually, it might have been in the Four Seasons. I can't remember, but just really cool stuff. This album's good. There's Sun Ain't Gonna Shine Anymore. After the Lights Get Out, they do a cover of People Get Ready. Curtis Mayfield, obviously that song. Take It Like a Man, so great, Lieber and Stoller classic there. I Need You. You got Carole King on that one. Just For Us Thrill, Louis Armstrong song. Don't Fight It, you got Wilson Pickett. So just some amazing stuff on this album. Scott Walker, I definitely went through an obsession of Scott Walker, listening to his music. Sam and I were kind of talking about that, where it was really funny. Like I was really listening to a lot of, and I guess what you said that Libras generally.
We get really obsessive about something.
Exactly. You try to have a balance with your life, but I was listening to a lot of Miles Davis, the electric Miles Davis, and Scott Walker. I was just listening to
it was
crazy.
every couple of months. It's now I'm really into this.
Oh yeah, I was listening to a lot of Can, so a lot of stuff like that. So there you go. Those are picks for days 13 and 14. We will see you tomorrow as we hit the 50% mark of the challenge. So
All right.
see you later.
Bye.